I don't play a lot of the video game. I played the Baldur's Gate. I baldered some gates. We're still working on it. I play sports games. Starfield, not my thing. Look, I was interested in the concept of Starfield 10 years ago. But Bethesda sucks. Bethesda's ass. Bethesda has always been ass and will continue to be ass forever and ever. However, it's not ass because of its pronouns. It has pronouns in the thing. You saw the video where the guy, I think he's later on, this bald guy, he got mad about stuff. I guess he's a streamer. He got mad and he said, you can't have pronouns in our video games. It's like, yeah, you can. Here's one of those accounts that just plays sort of like a B-roll situation so that you can stare at it mindlessly and says dumb shit. Never heard of him. You know how these accounts are. I guess hold on.
What's up, everyone? It's Endymion.
Endymion. What's up, everyone?
This is a follow-up video to my previous one surrounding heel versus babyface's rant that went viral, as well as how new information has come to light and the obvious bias of today's gaming industry and the people who cover it. Is this Ian Miles Chong? This video will cover the surrounding Starfield controversy, but this will be a more philosophical video, as I truly try to decipher the core roots of this very interesting discussion. I do also want to address issues people had with my other Starfield video as well. As for footage, I'm just gonna play dope-looking video games in the background. I'm tired of trying to mediate and play nice. It's time to say it how it is. So, let's get started. Firstly, I noticed a lot of people in my previous video taking parts of what I said as being me defending the use of pronouns, but that
I would never watch your content.
Wasn't my intention.
Defending the use of pronouns. I would never defend the use of pronouns.
I simply tried to convey that there is a middle ground to every conflict, whether it's moral or otherwise. And that if this push for more options to customize yourself within a game means allowing they/them pronouns, then it's a worthwhile trade. But I also stated that's where my support for this kind of thing also ends.
Wow. My support for this kind of thing. He's not a centrist.
As I wouldn't personally be okay with a game having hundreds of pronoun variation options.
So he's okay. See, this is similar to the not a single drop people. The racists. This is... There's some pronoun purists out there who are like, no, they, them pronouns. Now there's a new faction. It's like, look, I'm okay with the he, hims, the she, hers, and the they, thems. But the z, zers, you gotta go. I won't abide. Why? Well, I don't know. It's interesting. If you asked any of these dumbasses, which of course you're not going to, they're not smart enough for this conversation, nor should you just waste the time on them. You'd be like, okay, so what's the difference? He, him, she, her, they, them, those are all cool with you. And they're like, fine. What's the difference between that one and zer or whatever? And they're going to be like, oh, it's weird or different or something. Like it's just not used a lot. Okay. So have you ever met anybody with zim, zers? Like any of the stuff that you're worried about? Like, I don't even know what the other neo pronouns are that they're worried about. I think the zim, zer is probably the fourth most popular, and I don't think I know many people that use them. Maybe Mix, MX. What are we worried about, man? Who gives a fuck? When do you encounter this? When is it just like, oh, I can't remember all the pronouns from all my queer friends? Really?
And I personally see the inclusion of they/them being adequate enough to cover the myriad of made-up nonsense pronoun definitions that have all sprouted out of the internet like weeds at this point. This is not me defending woke identity politics.
He would never defend woke identity politics. I guess it's woke of me. My position on the pronouns. Here's my hot take on the pronouns. I've never given a fuck. Okay? I am an advocate because I am forced to be by right-wing nut jobs that really hate gay people and queers or something. But I really don't give a shit. I mean, I'm an advocate out of necessity, not because I really fucking care what the LGBTQ plus community is saying. No offense, but like I am so fucking not concerned with what your freedom is. Like your expression is so fucking not an issue to me. Just express however you want. I don't care. I have no idea how these fucking boys give a shit about this. Why would I ever give a fuck? Look and act and be and be named. Whatever. Just don't suck when you're around me. That's it. Just have a good vibe. That's all I'm asking for. Nothing else. That's my expectations. Your vibe, does it suck or not? That's my expectation level for you.
But it was me trying to bring level-headed commentary to a situation where everyone is screaming without
My
really
corn is so moist that it's actually dripping.
Thanks for the 101 biddies. Have a good night, Kitten Cupcake.
Knowing the context or why to begin with. So
Spoilers.
I would like to fully present my
in that.
stance on the push for woke identity politics.
The wokes.
No, I don't support it. No, I don't want more games to exist that push nonsense like Saints Row has, or
Saints Row?
future releases like Dustborn. But clearly my attempt at
What's wrong with Saints Row?
mediating the situation has left some
Saints Row has always let you have characters.
people sour in my comments, and that was never my intention. I firmly stand between my audience and the harmful practices invading every conceivable level of our entertainment. But we also need to realize that these creative decisions are made months, if not years in advance. And things like
Pronouns? Saints Row has pronouns too? I don't play Saints Row.
body types and pronouns will be in current and future video games. Since obviously
Dude, well, they have the same fucking... They both have the same tattoo.
is always needed when making games, especially
God,
massive RPGs.
Please.
So this sort of pronoun, body type, whatever else nonsense will exist in games for the foreseeable future.
The pronoun body nonsense... Pronouns and girl dick, that's been in all ways. We don't like cyberpunk. We don't like... You can have girl dick in this too. I don't know. Girls can have dicks, man. I mean, it's the future. Stop limiting yourself to just dudes can have dicks. What a coward.
Whether we wanted to or not. But that doesn't mean our pushback towards it can't change the next wave of future releases. So that's where I stand. I don't support woke identity politics, but I'm also not stupid enough to blissfully believe that everything must fit my exact worldview or it's otherwise bad. We're all adults here, and we need to realize we can't have everything exactly how we want it to be. So if the woke nonsense stops at they them pronouns, then it's fine. But I'm also culturally aware enough to know that when you give weirdos an inch, they'll take the whole damn property if they can.
The weirdos. The weirdos, by the way, are like, I want to make any character that I can think of in the video game. And a person was like, but I can think of a non-binary character in the future. And they're like, okay. And that's what makes you a weirdo. You're a weirdo now. Yeah. Not being mad about this isn't what's weird. Doing it in the first place, that's the weirdo stuff. That's right. Chat, you're a bunch of sickos, aren't you? You sickos. You fucking sickos.
One person said this very well, which
chat.
is Sargon. Let's look at this article from Bounding Into Comics titled Sargon of Akkad explains why gamers such as Heel vs. Babyface are rightfully angry with Starfield, and I quote, "It's not really about the pronouns.
Sargon sucks. Surprise.
Pronouns are just a symptom of the pervasive, corrupting force of social justice continuing to humiliate...
Not social justice! Justice socially? What?
...white men for the crime of being white men. It's everywhere in the real world, and
White
now
men.
it's in his escapism, which he paid good money for.
You can be a white man in Starfield. Be a white man. I play white men in video games a lot. On account of being that. I don't always play a white man. Sometimes I play a teal man.
Why should he not be angry? The entire philosophy is built on a series of lies and requires us all to commit to its lies or face punishment. We are supposed to clap for men and women's sports, approve of diversity hires who put people's lives at risk, and believe the media when they tell us white men are the most dangerous groups in our countries.
White men are the most dangerous group in all the countries. Not all the countries, but the countries where they're the most populous group, yeah. Because men are the most dangerous group. So if most of them are white men, then the white men are going to be the most dangerous group. It's just how it is, yeah. It's not, I mean, facts don't care about your feelings, Sargon.
The agenda is not incidentally aimed against white men. It is openly prejudiced and...
Why are we talking about white men when it comes to Starfield pronouns? They, them, an assault on white men. Wow, white men are so strong and powerful. One non-binary person simply fucks them up. That's fine. One non-binary person? Actually, not even a whole non-binary person. One hint of the possibility of a non-binary character in Starfield. Well, that's an assault on white men everywhere. Well, fuck. Chat, please. Hey, look, I'm a struggling white man. I need your subscription immediately because I am an oppressed white male. And Death Stranding ruined my life. Because I had pronouns? It didn't.
Explicitly targets and demonizes them every single day from the most powerful pulpits in our societies.
69 biddies. That's just enough to save me. Thank you.
Evil will has infused itself
just enough to save
across
me.
Our civilization, and it demands we recognize it as good. Every day, in every way, we are lied to by people who know we know they are lying. And yet they feign outrage and turn us into pariahs if we speak up and say
Sargon's mad that he fell off.
That they're lying.
I hope you guys have a fantastic day.
McPlatypus, thanks for giving one to my alt, oppressed white boy. Thank you so much. Chat, you're titillating a little bit.
It's unbearable, and they expect us to pay for the privilege. That's why Heel versus Babyface is angry.
He can't bear it. Then die. Simply stop bearing it. Succumb. I'm fine with that.
And I don't blame him, end quote. I think Sargon puts it very well here, and clearly, like I've stated, I may have been too lenient with
Sargon's an ugly whore.
My stance in my previous video. He's right that the current status quo of our society does push society to accept blatant lies as truth. And then those who question those lies are publicly shamed by others that also know what they believe is lies too. But the sad part about humanity as a whole is that most people's fears include being ostracized from society. They crave validation and following the herd, even if what's being said isn't something they agree with. They'll pretend they do to ensure they're not treated as outcasts. A very good example of this would be the whole pandemic era we all unfortunately lived through.
The pandemic era? We are currently, we're still dealing with a pandemic. Actually, it's not ideal. I also have something in my eyeball or something. I'm getting, oh jeez.
You'd have to be stupid to not realize a lot of the narratives were false. But what saddens me about that era of society is how so many people just followed what was being pushed or said because they feared being shamed. This is unfortunately the truth of our society, especially these days. I guarantee you that there's definitely people at Bethesda who secretly also think the Starfield inclusion of pronouns is also nonsense. But of course they don't say it publicly or they'll likely be fired and blacklisted. So from that perspective, I totally understand why Heel versus Babyface's opinion has gone so nuclear.
Okay, if you are a grown-ass man, which I'm sure this person claims to be, can you please be less emotional about the option of having they, them in the fucking video game, in the space future video game? This is just so fucking crazy. It is, you should watch some fucking Cronenberg or something. Like, can we watch some Dead Ringers and then get back to me about like this whole, like, we need to get some people reading some books and watching some media and maybe talking to people that don't look like you or something. There needs to be something going on to where you motherfuckers get a little bit of culture in your life. It's a fucking pronoun. It doesn't matter. Smash your fucking heads into the wall and cry until something knocks loose. Like, there's nothing to be done for these boys. Let them fucking cry. I can't imagine this making you upset. It's crazy that they think that I'm like because I'm the leftist, they would expect, oh, that's the sensitive one. The fuck are we doing, man?
Go.
They're so mad. Yeah. Oh yeah. They've lost the culture war, and they will continue. Like, nothing about. We will look back on this, and everyone will be like, yeah, they sucked. We don't remember their names, and they sucked, and we'll move on. Grandpa, they were
My
mad
dick
about
is actually so
pronouns?
moist it's dripping.
They were. Shadow is valid. Thank you, Rob Blum. These weak children masquerading as children are just draining. They are.
Because he's saying the quiet part out loud. And I also do find it saddening to see YouTubers dunking on him because of his opinions without really understanding the context behind it.
I would love to talk to either of these guys about the context of their opinions. Their little pussy baby opinions.
My corn is so moist that it's actually dripping.
Chat, you're starting a moist. You have moist momentum right now. Moist mentum. It's an extinction burst. It really is. Chad, if you give moist mentum, we'll move on.
I tried to give a surface level take before, but now, forget it. I'm going Super Saiyan, and I'll just let my nuts hang at this point.
All right, let's
this
hear
isn't
it.
My
about
corn is
Let's
so
have the nuts
moist that
hang.
it's actually dripping.
Let's get some stream steam.
pronouns, really. It's about the shifting of goalposts and the bastardization of every facet of entertainment. It's why so much media has been completely reversed in the last 10 years and then some.
Media has been reversed. What's that fucking mean? They're not saying words that mean stuff. Media has been reversed. Thank you for your scathing review of the woke politics.
My corn is so moist that
Spare
it's
us.
actually dripping.
Spare us, moist ones. Chat, you really are, actually. I mean, it really is. You guys don't want to hear this guy anymore, do you? You guys are done with this guy. Yeah, we had an ace in the hometown I grew up in, and that was one of the places for a while. And then it folded, I think. Maybe still there. Okay, but save big money at Menards is a fucking lie, because when you do the rebate thing, they fucking... It's only store credit. They don't actually give you your money back. Motherfuckers, dude. Dog shit. The sleeper agent? Dude. Save big money when you shop Menards. Store credit? Yeah, it's fucking dog shit. There's... Oh, what else? Dude, what triggers me more than anything... Dude, I bet I can just find it. Early morning before school. I think it's only if you're from around here, right? Yeah. I don't think any of you would probably recognize this unless you grew up very near me. We can't all have cool hardware places like Menards, though I do have a grocery western wear store. Oh. I mean, I wouldn't say Menards is cool. It's just huge. Here it is. Oh, fuck. I don't even want to play it, dude. I don't even want to play it. Dude, RPM auto sales. I fucking hate. I hate RPM auto sales. This would play at like... this says 2010. This was not... They played this through the 90s. This is... I associate it with not wanting to wake up for school. Like, so fucking awful. Yeah, it's only a local thing. Yeah, it's so terrible. I hate it so much. O'Reilly, we have the O'Reilly. Yeah, but that's like a national brand. O'Reilly is like a big thing. RPM auto sales is a single scam used car lot that has cheap early morning, late night ads on like late night TV and radio. So you know it's reputable. Yeah. Okay, let's keep watching the Starfield thing. Let's keep watching it.
I think that's what Heels truly meant when he said what he said. He's right that you can't look anywhere in entertainment these days without being, as he puts it, current day. Whether it's purposely making women uglier in video games to eliminate the male gaze, or having literal dev tools created to use algorithms to decide whether a character is diverse enough that hits all the necessary woke inclusion points like in Overwatch. And there's a
Overwatch? Man, what are the woke inclusion points? I don't want. Just play the fucking video games or don't, man. Why are they so mad? Not everyone's the same. Holy shit, that's different. That's different than I like.
Another comment I keep seeing in my videos all the time, which is define what woke is. What is woke, and so on. I've answered this before, but I'll keep it brief. Woke is a blanket term for many things.
Wow, insightful.
But at its core, it's a new form of religion that replaces
a new form of religion. He's so fucking stupid, dude. I wish I didn't have to say that phrase at people so much. It's just the same fucking bullshit every time. I've heard Christians say the same thing about atheism, same thing about fucking, if you're not a capitalist, it's a religion. Religion, you're a commie. It's a religion. It's like, bro, I'm not reverent to fucking anything. It's just common sense. It's just like, hey, what's the logical conclusion if we pit everyone against each other? Will that society work? No! Will the society work if everyone is constantly on the edge of not being able to survive at their current status? Like, what? The stress of everyday living will surely drive the communities further together. I hate this. I don't understand, man. A religion. To fucking who? To what?
It mutates all the core fundamental building blocks of our society.
Just all of them?
But it's more than that. It's
all of them. It looks at us as the woke is like usually it's just leftist, and they're like, okay, here's a systemic flaw, and they're like, oh, they're breaking down the country. It's like, yeah, there's things wrong with it, and we could fix them. We could just fix them. The country. Do you know why leftists want a better system? Because the idea of all of us, whether they think in the terms of like a country proper or not, the idea is the same. The people who live here, we want the best for them and us. We want it for everybody. Whether you call it a state or not, commies. We all want the same thing, and that is to make America great again. But not with Trump. To make America great at all would be great. To make America great again for the first time. That's what we really want. Make America great again for the first time. That's what I'm going to run on. That's my slogan. Vote for Jake. Jake 2028. We're not going to run in 2024. My political analysis says that I don't have much of a shot in 2024. But by 2028...
It's also a language virus that's used carefully through design social constructs that's implemented into society to target individuals.
So those are constructs, but not gender. Interesting.
Even in institutions like kindergarten classrooms. It's designed from the ground up to...
Kindergarten classrooms implementing like consent-based educational standards. And this guy going like, wait a second. We can't teach the kids to consent. We can't teach the kids that they have autonomy away from the adults that control them. We can't let them thinking that they can be queers. Chat, if you're queer, that's fine, actually. It's 100% fine to not be whatever I am. You know? That's fucking crazy. This is what is like, are you saying my wife's not fuckable? Well, I'm just saying that I think you're more fuckable, Brad. It just drives me crazy. I mean, some people just like dick, Brad. Who are these fucking people, man? Torn up by other people's lives.
To purposely warp the societal structure of our world and create a new status quo that replaces core values once thought traditional.
It's amazing that he's saying this over footage of Deus Ex. Incredible. Just fucking woo! Move past him at supersonic speed. There's a sonic boom at how fast he missed the point of this fucking show. Or game, not show. He just fucking... Our traditional values, they must be so good.
Like raising a family, getting married, thinking there's only 2 genders. And instead...
Yeah, look at the footage you're showing.
Forcing
What's this game
society
about?
to believe there's multiple genders. Marriage is terrible. Don't fall in love. And
Wonder what this game's about.
Don't have kids.
Is it Cyberpunk? Wonder what this is about.
The world is apparently overpopulated.
Buddy!
While it's pushed by people in positions of power with multiple children themselves, who tell common folk to stop driving cars and reduce their carbon emissions, while those same people in power fly on private jets that create more carbon emissions than you will in a lifetime. It's a...
But he sees no problem at all with capitalism or billionaires when he talks about that, just Leonardo DiCaprio specifically. Not the billionaires who do way more of that than Leonardo DiCaprio does. Because that's not what the point is. He just thinks that Leo is a little bit of a hypocrite. And he could be. Leo might be a total hypocrite. Who cares? Who gives a fuck about Leo DiCaprio?
A social contagion that spreads across...
Have you guys not seen Edge Runners? Wait, is there a new season of it, or is it still the old one? People keep bringing it up.
Facet of your life, and it's designed to ensure that you are loveless, genderless, own nothing, and are forced to believe that you'll be happy if you submit to these things.
Submit to what thing? I don't want you to submit to anything. It's so crazy how leftists can say, I want you to be free from the government, from societal standards, from your fucking religion, from yourself, man. Like, free from these things. Stop, free from the dollar. And they're like, no, you're trying to make me bend the knee. And I'm like, no, I want you to get up from the kneeled position. Rise, friend. Rise above your station. No, just staying kneeled. They're like, no, but I need the dollars. For what? I want for wealth. Why? Because they say I need them. Oh. Take the fucking knee. It's crazy. Can't bend the knee to me. You're already doing it, dude. You want kings. Billionaires are kings. You can't exist without getting money from your billionaire at this point. Literally. I'm trying to think of jobs that I've had in my life that don't involve billionaires or the government. I worked for one farm-to-table restaurant that was owned by one guy in a small town. Everything else was corporate, including this. This is, Amazon, Twitch.
Woke is a cancer. It's the looming shadow that smartly uses social peer pressure to ensure, if you question it, you're taken out in every way imaginable.
Taken out? What a pussy, dude. You're taken out in every way imaginable. People dunking on you because you have a fucking dumbass take is not being taken out in every way. Like, you're just a fucking stupid boy. Grow the fuck up. This is what it's about, man. Like, all these men hate the fucking woke mind because they're the guys people are talking about when they bring it up. They're like, hey, you can't be shitty, sexist, homophobic. Like, we just, people should be treated better. We also shouldn't be under the yoke of billionaire. Like, these guys are like, but I like my corporate buckos, And I like feeling like, even though I'm part of the class that is being oppressed, that I feel like I'm part of the upper class of the lower class. I feel like I'm on the top. I'm a white man, so with a little money, so that means I'm at the top of the lower class when the billionaire kings are like, oh yeah, here you go, good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. Maybe Elon will let you into his fucking jet once. And then you'll shut up about the climate stuff. You won't be like, oh, how much fucking pollution is your jet doing, Elon? You would take a ride on that shit immediately because you're a cunt. You have no fucking convictions. This is why I know people fuck these guys. By the way, this is why this happens.
Financially, socially, everything. That's what the woke agenda is. It's not just some QAnon conspiracy. It's not just angry white men in their rooms.
I busk for a living, dog. Literally, I busk.
Raging or something exclusively hated by Republicans or conservatives if you're Canadian. It is something that is coming for everything, and if we just lay down and let it wash over us, it will become the new social norm.
Showing Cyberpunk, which is talking about the virus of capitalism infecting the world, while saying actually the opposite of that, that's the bad thing.
And in a lot of ways it already has, since the blowback Heels got is proof that when you question the status quo, you're not only attacked, you're publicly shamed and in some cases told you need to be surgically destroyed. This brings us to Hassan Piker, the
surgically destroyed? You talking about dicks?
Champagne socialist who lives in $1 million home, who was propped up by his uncle on his Young Turk show. This
propped up by... But Jen, dude, that can we not? Can we not? Propped up. Okay, dude.
Same uncle who thinks bestiality should be legalized. The same Hassan who believes Americans deserved 9/11 happening. Which,
I mean, look. Happy September, everybody. America, the country. I mean, it took actions. If we're the party of personal responsibility, if we're talking about personal responsibility, America was responsible for the creation of the terrorists that did this. Look, that's how it works.
Which is actually something he said. Hassan clowned on Heels and said
I can't believe you would make a 9/11 joke.
Should be lobotomized for his take, which
we should bring back lobotomies. Yeah, hilarious. Yeah, pull it out through his nostril like a mummy.
Which of course Hassan may be saying as a joke, but this is the point.
He may be saying it as a joke. We should bring back lobotomies. Maybe it's a joke. The left can't meme, dude.
I'm trying to make here. Heels expressed his opinion, and he was in turn socially dogpiled on by all the usual...
Dude, I liked playing Cyberpunk, but I never finish a run.
...usual suspects. The one person who attacked Heels that disappointed me was the Act Man, as he's usually more base than his peers. So
who? I don't know these fucking people.
To see him dogpile so heavily and go as far as to look for gotchas on Heels was, well, it was a bummer to see. Because the truth is that what Heels is saying isn't just about pronouns. But that's all they're dunking on because it's socially acceptable to dunk on such an opinion. Remember when I said the woke agenda encourages society to attack those who don't agree with them? If what's happening right now isn't evidence enough to support that claim, I truly don't know what else will.
I love that we went into Starfield and we're like, what do we need there? Just more guns. I'm sort of tuning this guy out and looking at the Starfield. I haven't played a lot of Starfield. Like, what if we just had squarish bullets? That's because of the space. Like, man.
Mormon Jesus.
Boom button. Thanks, Ray, man.
Heels also made a new video addressing this, which I will link in the description below, and you should watch it when you can. Here's just a little bit of that video, and he says some things we need to address, so here's that clip.
Is this actually about opinion on video game? No, this has nothing to do with opinion on video game.
I'm not mad at Bethesda.
This has everything to do with going after the far left sacred cow of gender ideology.
The gender ideology. Gender ideology. Why do they always do like this, man? He's got a little shell. Look, they're all the same guy. They're all exactly the same guy. I guess you just repeat yourself.
But having an opinion on the internet, well, heaven forbid anyone have one of those.
What a fucking crybaby. Have an opinion, and then people disagree with my opinion and they don't like it. That's what you sound like. Yeah, people are also having opinions. Can they not have their opinions, you fucking pussy? God. What? Can we have better men? Better men? Please? Men with spines would be amazing from the right. Please, one man with a spine that is also right-wing. One of them. Any of them? God, they're such fucking victims all the time.
Towards the beginning of the game, the character creation, we were greeted with a pronoun options.
Oh no!
So very current day of Bethesda. So I went on a little bit of a rant to my streaming audience because I was unhappy with the fact that in every aspect of our entertainment today, we seem to be pulled out because the people creating it are more concerned with inserting current day into absolutely everything.
What a fucking boomer. Current day memes. I simply can't take, like, human toes. He looks like one of the toe guys from Spy Kids. He just... I'm so fucking over mediocre men pretending that they have some kind of fucking authority in this department. It's just so weird. It's a video game pronoun. Just don't select it. Press a different button. Press a button that you like to press. It's a button that you press. The button. Don't press the button. It doesn't fucking matter, man. I guess the content mill has to go around now. Now I'm part of it. Now I'm fucking sucked up in it. They sent it to me, so now I have to fucking endure your thumb ass.
But this isn't just about pronouns. That's the disingenuous argument that people want to latch onto.
It's actually about the pervasiveness of the other stuff.
So that you don't talk about the gender ideology and the intersectionality.
Not intersectionality, the understanding that if I have a problem, you might have a similar problem, but it could be different because of our backgrounds in surroundings. And then understanding that we have an intersection of problems, even though we may come from different places. That's intersectionality. That's a real thing. That's a normal thing. It's not like I don't like intersectionality. You mean thinking? When you say I don't like intersectionality, to me, I mean, it's just straight up, I just don't like to think about stuff. I'm just not a curious, intelligent man. I'm simply here to drool my way through fucking life. Because intersectionality is literally just like, hey, if you experience homophobia as a gay person and you as a black person experience racism, did you know that there's like a black and gay person that also exists that is experiencing both of those things? And then we can understand that, like, oh, how do these systems come about? Oh, how do we socialize around these systems? And then how do we act? And then you're like, oh, well, a lot of it just comes down to we have small groups of he's not going to like the word oppression, but like you have small groups of social agitation, we'll call it, that cause and foment certain aspects. And it's just about addressing those things. It's about the systemic nature of these things. And to discuss that is, for some reason, this guy, like, all the white guys that get upset about that take unearned credit from their betters. They're like, oh, well, we built the fucking pyramids. Or no, we built no, aliens built the pyramids. We built the leaning tower of Pisa. And we built the Paris. And we built Rome. And it's like, well, you didn't do any of those things. Slave labor. also, those were not your accomplishments. I don't know how to say that any differently. It's just not your accomplishments. And so it's like, well, they're tearing down the society. You're part of society right now. The thing that's tearing it down most is capitalism. The thing that's not tearing it down is queer kids having a good day. Queer kids having a good day is actually really good for society. You know? Look at that. There's a queer kid. Had a good day today. Because a thumb didn't yell at them about being a themby.
That's been rammed into every single solitary facet of our entertainment, from video games to TV, film, comics, etc., etc.
He has lots to say, etc., etc. So a lot of British guys get by on their accent because for some reason media makes like scientists and smart guys or wizards or whatever. You know, Baldur's Gate. A lot of people Baldur and Gates. A lot of English accents. This is a phenomenon that I don't understand. The Sargon has the same thing, where he's just a dumbass, but he talks slowly and has an accent. And it's like, I guess we'll listen to that guy now. You know, slap his bald head with craft singles. They would stick. They would stick. No problem being bald, though. You can be a baldy. Baldies are good. I don't think when those kids were like, hey, bald head, that the bears should have come and eaten them. But that's how Jesus rolls. The rage will make them melt. He is pretty angry. He's angry at the gays.
What Heel says here is right in my opinion. Bowing down
Dude, this game has one enemy.
To it and letting it wash over will only result in more
Holy
of it
shit.
happening. It's the classic give an inch, take a mile in full effect. His complaint about
robots and
pronouns
dudes.
also doesn't seem to connect to what a lot of the naysayers are saying as well. What I think anyway that
look
Heels
at
is
that
trying to
AI.
get across here is that pronouns existing in a game that you can choose is nonsense to begin
One man
with.
taking
Now
down
why
whole
is that, you're
squadrons,
wondering?
classic
What
Bethesda.
Heels suggests is normally you choose male or female, and by definition of your chosen sex, your pronouns were then baked into your experience based on your sex.
Right. Yep. This is just the real world playing out in our media. That's the normal rub in real life. And they're like, hey, that's not accurate to my experience. So they're adding options to where you don't have to be locked into that because it's not creative. And it certainly isn't true to their experience or the characters they want. You know? It's like if you picked a manly thing and they forced you to have she, her pronouns. Well, this ain't right, dude. It's not the character you want to make. Yeah? Makes sense?
So, flashback 10 or more years ago to even Mass Effect, for example.
Mhm.
If you chose male Commander Shepard,
Mhm.
you were he, him. There was no option for pronouns because logic dictated that if you chose male, then you are he, him.
Right. I agree that the video game from 10 years ago is less sophisticated than the modern video games. True. And in 10 years, when they're doing totally other, like you're going to change your butthole fucking circumference. We're going to have Cyberpunk 3000, and we're going to have butthole circumference discourse in 10 years. Lock it in right now.
There would be no need to choose because it's pointless. So ultimately, what I think a lot of these reactors like Hassan, Actman, unfortunately,
There are aliens in this that don't observe gender, by the way, in this fucking video game.
and more are missing, is that the inclusion of pronouns in your character select screen confirms that due to current day sensibilities,
Current day sensibilities. Yes, it is current day, and the sensibilities of the people that exist right now are the sensibilities of the people that exist right now. That's true. Current day sensibilities. Yep. That's right. Correct.
things like sex, gender, pronouns, identity, whatever else, is no longer simple and easy to understand.
It's so fucking simple and easy to understand.
You can't just choose male Commander Shepard and that's it.
You can. You can have a male Commander Shepard that has she, her pronouns. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's wild. Whole society.
If Mass Effect were made today, you would likely be given the option of body types instead of genders.
Yeah.
Because game companies don't want to step on toes and get ire from websites. But instead of male or female shepherd just normally being he or she, they would then go, oh, you're not male, you're body type 1. Are your pronouns he or she? Meaning you could play male shepherd but with she her pronouns. But by the logic of reality and years of human history, no person upon looking at this Commander Shepard character would walk up to him and immediately go, oh, she's shepherd.
Right, because he looks like a fucking heterosexual cis man. Because it's stock shepherd. Right? But if cis heterosexual stock shepherd was like, actually I'm non-binary, I would correct myself and just use they them for them. Because I'm dope. So also, by the way, if Mass Effect ever happens again, which the last game, I mean, come on. But like, if it ever happens again, if you can't be an alien, it's just fucking pointless. I'm tired of being a fucking human in Mass Effect. I'm done.
You wouldn't. At least back then you wouldn't, but of course because of current day social engineering, this is now something we need to discuss or implement.
Social engineering. The gays and the queers.
I think that's what a lot of
Socially
these reactors,
engineered
commenters, and whatever else are missing. And I'm disappointed in myself as well for not properly explaining that before already.
You still didn't properly explain it. Also, the world is more complicated than my preschool black and white understanding. True.
I feel like an idiot for trying to be more forthcoming,
Definitely
trying
an
to
idiot.
appeal all sides, when
Definitely an
clearly,
idiot.
based on the reaction to my previous video, and the nature of the internet and how tribal it is, what I said was the classic trying to appeal to
Fuck
everyone ends up appealing to no one. I won't
So
delete my
stupid,
previous video because I'm very pro accountability, and I think even though my wins should be celebrated, I also need to understand and learn from my losses and bad takes as well. I am only human after all, and obviously I clearly made a mistake. But I think at the heart of this, we need to ask ourselves if this is a path we all want to truly go down. Are we?
Is this a path we want to go down? Having options in our video games? Yeah, it is, actually. It's totally that. You can tell by their massive success. Yeah. Yeah, it's too lame, man. Baldur's Gate, it's fucked. Everything's gay. Just deal with it, man. It's great. Not every relationship is heterosexual. Not every person is cisgendered, and that's just okay, man. That's cool to me. It's so much more interesting in a fantasy setting. Like, it's so much more pervasive in a fantasy setting than it is in reality. Right? And then it's going to happen even more in reality. Let's be real. And they're upset about that or something. I don't know why. Oh, no. People might be gay. Yeah.
Go.
That was a problem before. They could have been gay the whole time. If you were worried about it, you should have, I don't know, cried, probably. Is this the path we want to go down while the video features an alien twink as a choice, my guy? Well, yeah, I mean, he has no awareness. I'm good. I don't need the rest of it. I don't need the end of that. I think we get it. This guy's a fucking idiot, dude. Not a smart individual. Not a particularly... like there was like a decent view, like 170,000 subscribers or something, but like, how do these keep being popular channels? Like, they don't do anything. They don't. At least that guy does more than the quartering, at least. Holy shit, he gave his opinions on stuff. Just the B-roll, man. The B-roll. It's a big bummer.